Good morning, everybody. Today's Tuesday. My name is Richard, and this is another video from Platinum Crypto Academy. So, what am I going to talk about today? I thought, with all the news that's going on at the moment, seems to be a little bit dulled down on the market at the moment. I think I wanted to relive some of the basics and go through a couple of use cases. Reason being is I actually spoke to my brother-in-law at the weekend, and he asked me a simple question. You know, Bitcoin as an investment opportunity, is it something that he should consider? And of course, I'm on the bullish side of that answer. But he asked me, well, what's the value behind Bitcoin apart from speculation? And it dawned on me that there's probably a lot of people out there that see Bitcoin as a price speculation opportunity, but don't see it as something which has real use case or value. And I think I wanted to just spend a few moments on today's video going through a couple of points as to why I personally believe and why I believe the majority of bullish people in the space believe in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies as a whole, shall I say, having some real value in the world and how it makes a difference. So I just wanted to start with that point and then get on to a couple of the news stories today. I also wanted to go into um, the development of the cryptocurrency space. So before I get into that, let's just have a look at the market quickly. Bitcoin dominance, still hovering 65+%. It's been up to, I think it's been up to 72 points something according to here. Let's have a look. 78%. Oh, that's really high, but it's been hovering in this sort of 70 to 80s range for, God, let's have a look. Sorry, 60s to 80s, 60 to 70s, mid 70s range for, let's have a look. Here we go. Also July. So it's been, quite some time already. Total volume, again, we're looking at lows. Continue, look, we're extremely low on volume, and that's across all the opportunities in the market. So I think, look, we peaked out at mid-July, which was a good level of volume. This is just, we're meandering, accumulation phase, I think everyone calls it, accumulation phase. Money flow, let's have a quick look. All pretty standard. Tether looks like it's just dominating the space, and I think I might do a video on Tether and the implications it's having on the market. But I'm going to look at Bitcoin to Tether, 1.51 billion. I think Crypto Daily, if I'm not mistaken, check his channel out on YouTube. He did a great recent video on the impact of Tether on the cryptocurrency space. I advise anybody to have a look at it, listen to the guy, he knows what he's talking about. That sort of analysis and viewpoint I definitely share. So check it out, it's really valuable. But as you can see, not much money flowing into the alts that reflect on price. Quite a lot of the money just going between stable coins and Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. Looks like, yeah, pretty well, still half a billion away, but still a lot of money flowing between the major coins and Tether. US dollar looks to have spiked a little bit today with a bit of transactions in and out of Bitcoin. So, to the main topic at hand, what is going on with Bitcoin and why we see value? Okay, so firstly, let's just explore the idea that you potentially are in Thailand, for example, or India, or Asia, or somewhere that's classed as you don't just go down to your local high street and pop into your bank. What Bitcoin allows people to do, and cryptocurrencies as a whole, is allow anybody on the planet who can access a 3G, 4G network or an internet dial-up, well, I say dial-up, not dial-up, but an internet line, can access a banking structure which is decentralized, like, well, like most of the crypto space. And what this means is that instead of in these remote areas there being a absolute struggle for monetary systems, in terms of if you want to pay somebody into their bank account, half of these people don't have bank accounts. what cryptocurrencies allows them to do, and most people have phones, surprisingly. You can all you need is a phone, and you can get paid for a service that you're offering. I think that's a really revolutionary bit of information. I may not explain it the very best way, but if you can imagine that you're in China, one of the local villages, you either have to trek a long journey to get to a city which has banking, or you can save yourself the journey and use cryptocurrencies, for example. It's a really quick and easy way, an efficient way of getting paid for a service, or paying somebody for a service they're offering, or just getting a salary, for example. Quite a lot of people who are migrant workers would get a paycheck as well, end up not having a bank account to put it into, end up going to somewhere like something like, I don't know, what they call it's like a MoneyGram place where you take a check and they cash it. They take a huge percentage of that check, and for the fees to cash it, and then that person walks around with cash. Very cash-based society in that sense. But these companies are taking, large portions of the paycheck for that service. Now, what Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies allowed is that, although yes, the price is very volatile, and yes, the price, that can affect the decision if you want to do something like this. But I would believe that if you're going to take a hit, 20% potentially on your paycheck, you might as well accept it in Bitcoin, or a more stable coin, and run that risk. If you've received it in Tether or stablecoin, for example, you can have a wallet, you can have it associated, you can get paid in that version. It's not going to change in price. You're going to be happy. I think that's a really good example of how it will help areas grow and be more prosperous. People have more money to spend because they're not giving it away in fees of transactions, and it's really good. So that's one way. The second way is for business users like myself. We run Platinum Crypto Academy. We educate people all over the world. We provide a great quality service in terms of mentoring, teaching people how to trade, teaching people how to analyze markets and invest accordingly. And having somebody in America, for example, paying a fee, yeah, of course, they can pay us in fiat currency, so dollars, whatever. It may take 4 days, however, for us to get a payment and for them to then start their service with ourselves. What we often do, especially in the crypto space, is we accept payment in cryptos. That's with us within maximum half an hour, more likely 10 minutes. We can start delivering the service that day because the money's cleared, we're able to offer a service. I think that's a really great example of how current international payment systems take time, and how cryptocurrencies are solving that problem. Yes, I'm waiting 10 minutes. Yes, it's not something that I can go to a shop and spend Bitcoin on directly. But for business transactions and international transfers, I think it's an excellent source, and we prefer it because of that reason. It means the client's happier, we're offering a great service, we're happier because the money's in the bank. Really good solution for us in that case. Yes, there are a little bit of issues with converting Bitcoin into fiat, and there's payments there, but all in all, it's very profitable and very quick and efficient. Secondly, um, use cases, countries. I think I mentioned it in one of my previous videos. Venezuela, for example, they want to sell oil, or they want to sell some natural resources or whatever nationally to another country. They're under trade sanctions at the moment from the US. I'm not going to get into the political side of it, but what it's been touted is that they're actually selling product internationally using Bitcoin because that avoids sanctions. And now that might be a negative thing for some people because they believe the sanctions are warranted. But what about the people in the country that, just normal people that are struggling with really high levels of inflation, really high levels of cost for everything? How are they affording to live? They're really struggling. And one way that I reported, I think it was last week, was individuals actually surviving on the fact that they bought Bitcoin, the price has gone up, and they're actually able to afford to feed and look after their family in such austerity. Really good example there. Another example is security. I know digital currency, i.e., dollars, pounds, etc., using the normal banking infrastructure is extremely, um, effective in this current market. However, one thing that you do get with cash societies is you get a lot of fraud. You get a lot of people, printing money which isn't real, and that ends up costing people a lot of heartache if they've potentially a shop owner and somebody's using fake money, buying a particular product and it's fake. They go to cash it in the bank, the bank don't accept it. What can they do? So, that's obviously another thing with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in the space, you're not going to get that problem. Transactions are all listed on the blockchain. You can't really fake a transaction. That's what I'm trying to say. We recently had a client uh, say that they've sent a payment to us internationally. They've showed us the international transfer, but the money never arrived. We couldn't track it with Bitcoin. You can actually look at it on the blockchains when it's arriving. How is it actually been actioned and so on? You can check that instantly, and the problem was resolved. Obviously, the client in that particular instance called his bank, sorted it out, but it's still that level of transparency is there from both parties. They can track transactions very smoothly through the whole process. I think one of the last things that's a real value is that you control your own money. Say I had £100,000 or dollars or whatever in my Bitcoin account that I hold on a Trezor. I've got access to that 24/7, 7 days a week. When I'm alive, I've always got access. When I die, my family will have the details to collect and access the information. Very easy. Today, if I went to the bank and wanted to withdraw 100,000, 10,000, 20,000, they would say, "I'm sorry, sir, you can't withdraw that in cash." You would say, "Why not, sir? This is my money. I want it now." For large withdrawals, we have to request a couple of days. So you can't access your money as easily as you believe you may be able to. And so those sorts of things are concerning in the current banking structure. In cryptocurrencies are decentralized and an environment where you are your own bank essentially, you have total control over that. So anyway, those are my points. I thought they were really useful. One last thing on this is that the infrastructure, the hash rate is not all-time highs, but it's extremely high, meaning that the total computing power of the Bitcoin network has reached, we've never been this sort of average height. We're at the highest it's ever been. Data from monitoring resource is driven from places like charts.bitcoin.com. As you can see, they're monitoring the hash rate, and they have been for some time now. You can see easily on the chart, look how high up we are. What does this mean? It means the total computing power that's been applied to it. So you can see the curve of interest. Even if you call these mining contracts or mining organizations, it doesn't matter. The fact is there's more people committed to Bitcoin than ever before. More people than ever before. The security of the network means it's stronger. The hash rate is higher. Things are going in a perfect direction. Number of wallets as well. And this is a really interesting one. From the third quarter 2016 to the third quarter 2019. Look at that curve. Nothing better. Pure wallets opening up. Now, it doesn't mean that people can't have multiple wallets. I've owned multiple wallets. But it just means that there's more activity, more wallets, more users generally. As you can see, look at that graph. Perfect. Just wanted to build you a bit of security behind the industry, just to give you a bit of foundation on what's going on. We spoke about this last week, and just moving on to the news portion of the video, we spoke about this last week. Gold and backed Bitcoin, no, gold-backed cryptocurrencies, sorry, as being a stable coin. Well, another one's popped up. Just thought I'd let you know. I'll set the link in the description. Take a look if you wish. But it just shows as a trend occurring that cryptos and gold are matching together to offer a service, whether it's a stable coin, ability to spend based on a currency that's backed by gold, for example. So if that was a quick network transfer, I could go to a shop, convert quickly, over a Visa, for example. There's various products out there like that, and I think it's really, really cool that these are developing like that. We have to watch this space because it could be a great opportunity to add to your portfolios. What else are we looking at today? CME. I think this is quite funny. We now know that futures are being offered by CME, Binance, backed in all different ways of doing so. CME has gone on the offensive, it looks like, suggesting, look, they're growing and growing and growing and growing. Whether it's true or not, that's great. I would prefer people to use backed because it's obviously backed in Bitcoin, every contract, and it's going to take time to grow. And they're fighting against a institution of CME that's been around for such a long time and offering multitude of verticals of investment opportunities. But backed will grow and grow and grow. And once we see that, the sort of interest that we're getting into this future space, delving into backed, building those relationships with institutions, I think this is only a positive thing. I think the last bit of news. Oh yeah, a Bitcoin whale. Don't be alarmed, everybody. Nobody's dumping. It doesn't look like. It just looks like that an exchange has moved from one wallet to another, quite a large sum, only a small figure of 900 million around in the last 24 hours. And so people were getting a bit spooked as to why that such a large amount of Bitcoin was being moved. But it looks like it's just a routine exercise by Bitstamp for their security purposes. But anyway, guys, just thought I'd give you a brief 16-minute video on what's been going on. Have a great week. Keep safe in the markets and keep stacking those sats.